You're not imagining it. You feel something, don't you? That pull, that strange, warm feeling in your heart right now, that's not random. That's someone thinking about you so deeply, it's reaching you across spiritual lines. You've been showing up in their thoughts all day. And they've been showing up in signs, in dreams, in those random moments when your heart suddenly beats a little faster. This is not one-sided. This is real. The reason you're here is because love is chasing you. But this time, it's not just romance. This time, it's a divine intervention. Before I continue, I need you to promise something. Don't ignore this like last time. Don't scroll like you always do when it gets too deep. This message is not for everyone. It's only for the one who feels chills when their name is whispered from heaven. Archangel Michael says this is your moment to receive what has been written in your spiritual destiny for years. The truth is finally ready to come out, but only if you're brave enough to hear it. If you feel this is for you, pause. Listen carefully. Take a deep breath. Archangel Michael is speaking, and he's not alone. Heaven has opened a rare door, and a chorus of angels are watching to see what you'll do. They've been preparing for this moment. A miracle is about to be revealed. But you must stay with this message till the very end. Otherwise, what was meant for your hands will pass on to someone else. Archangel Michael says, it's urgent to expose this. Someone wants to marry you. The name will shock you. But before I tell you who, you must understand why now. Because this person, yes, the one on your mind or maybe the one you're not expecting, has been holding this truth like a treasure inside their chest. They've fought tears. They've rewritten messages to you over and over again and deleted them every time. They've laid awake at night wondering if you'd ever understand how much they've changed. But here's what you don't know, they've been speaking to heaven about you. They've been silently praying, silently crying, silently hoping you'd feel it in your soul. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven approved this union long ago, but there were blockages. Dark energies. Past betrayals. Soul wounds. False soulmates. Enemies in disguise. That's why everything went silent. That's why it never worked before. But now is the divine time. Michael leans in and says, Beloved, you've walked through fire for this love. And now God says, it's time for your reward. But don't blink. Don't doubt. And don't disconnect. Because in the next few minutes, what you're about to hear will either make or break everything. You've had dreams about weddings. Visions. Daydreams where someone's face shows up suddenly. The smell of them. The voice of them. And your soul recognizes something. That's not fantasy. That's divine memory. Your soul already knows who your heart belongs to. Even if your mind doesn't accept it yet. And here's where it gets deeper. This person has already told someone close to them that they want to marry you. But it didn't go well. Their friends laughed. Their family warned. And yet, they couldn't let you go. You are the calm in their chaos. The truth in their confusion. The light in their storm. And heaven whispered to them. Try again. Archangel Michael says, this person is not just in love with you, they are spiritually bound to you. There was a spiritual contract made in heaven. Your names were written together long before you ever met. And though life has separated you again and again, love keeps bringing you back. Because the divine doesn't forget. And now that the veil has lifted, the name is ready to be revealed. But before that, I must warn you, once you know, you cannot unknow. Once your soul hears this name, it will recognize the echo. It may shock you. It may confuse you. But if your heart is still and open, you'll know it's right. Michael says, the person's heart is racing. They feel something is coming. They don't know this message is being sent to you right now, but they feel something stirring. They may suddenly message you. Or walk back into your life. Or say something that feels out of place, but that's heaven guiding them toward you. But this time, don't ignore it. This is your final test. Let me ask you something. Do you believe in divine timing? Because what if I told you, the angels blocked this person from marrying someone else just to protect your destiny? What if I told you their heart never truly let go of you, even when they pretended they did? What if I told you, God has been preparing their soul just for this moment? This message is not an accident. It's prophecy in motion. Stay with this message. The name is close. But Michael says your spirit must be ready first. You may feel your chest tightening. That's your soul preparing to receive truth. You may feel tears forming. That's not weakness, that's divine remembrance. Your soul recognizes this moment because it's been waiting lifetimes for this. Michael says, if you skip this, you may never hear this truth again. And just before I tell you the name, here's one final question. What if this marriage brings the healing your family never had? What if this union is what breaks the curse of loneliness, betrayal, and pain that has haunted generations? Because this is not just love. This is divine restoration. You'll cry when you hear the name. But it won't be from sadness. It will be from recognition. Archangel Michael says, this is the moment where time folds, where your past and future merge into one divine breath. Right now, as they stand in front of you, gift revealed, heart exposed, eyes wide with emotion, everything else disappears. No noise. No doubt. No timelines. Only truth. This isn't about what went wrong before. This isn't about who said what, or who hurt who. That version of you is gone. That version of them no longer exists. What stands in front of you now is rebirth. Resurrection. A soul that has walked through fire to return to you, purified, humbled, softened. And if you listen closely, past their words, past your heartbeat, you'll hear it. The whisper of heaven saying, this is it. You're here. You made it. Their presence isn't accidental. They didn't just decide to come. They were sent. There were forces around them, signs they couldn't ignore. Dreams that wouldn't stop. Coincidences that became louder and louder until they couldn't turn away. You called them with your soul long before you heard their steps. You don't need to understand how. You only need to feel why. Archangel Michael says, let your heart be louder than your wounds right now. Let your spirit speak louder than your logic. Let your love, even if it's buried deep under years of pain, rise like light through darkness. Because love never really dies. It may grow quiet. It may hide. But when it's real, it waits. It watches. It holds its breath for a moment like this. And now that moment is here. When their fingers brush yours, when they place what they've brought into your hands, take a deep breath. Close your eyes. And feel it. Feel the entire timeline of your connection condensed into one sacred touch. All the beginnings. All the endings. All the almosts. All the dreams you both buried. They are all here. Archangel Michael says, this touch is not just physical. It's spiritual. It's the confirmation your heart has longed for. You may flash back to the day they left. The words that were never spoken. The ache that made sleep impossible. But now, those memories don't sting the same. Why? Because what stands in front of you now is healing. And maybe healing doesn't mean things go back to the way they were. Maybe it means you both get to create something new, something wiser, deeper, softer. Or maybe healing means simply holding each other for a while, not needing answers, just allowing the presence of love to say everything that words cannot. There is no pressure now. No expectations. Just a sacred invitation, to be seen. To be held. To be free. Michael says, what happens next is entirely up to your soul. And whatever you choose, forgiveness, closure, reunion, even gentle goodbye, will be divinely supported. Because you passed the test. You stayed open when you could have closed. You showed up when you could have run. You received when you could have rejected. That is the miracle. The transformation was never about them alone. It was about you becoming who you needed to be to receive this moment. The angels saw your lonely nights. They heard your silent prayers. They witnessed the days you wanted to give up on love completely. But you didn't. You held space. You protected your heart without turning it to stone. And for that, heaven is proud of you. Very few souls choose the path of softness when the world teaches us to harden. But you chose the divine way. The way of surrender. Of faith. Of patience. Michael says, because you waited with grace, now comes your reward. Look at them again. Look at how their eyes search yours, still afraid, still hopeful. They are waiting for a sign, any sign, that tells them, you're welcome here. Will you give it? Will you let your heart speak louder than your fear? Will you trust what you feel, even if your mind still has questions? Because right now, a doorway is open. Between two hearts. Between two timelines. Between heaven and earth. And if you step through together, if you walk through this moment hand in hand, something rare happens. You shift the future. Not just for yourselves, but for the generations that follow. That's how powerful love is when it's protected by angels. Archangel Michael says, if you knew how much the universe had to rearrange for this moment to happen, you would cry with gratitude. Everything you lost, everything that broke you, it was preparing you for this. You weren't being punished. You were being refined. And now, that refinement radiates from you. It's why they're trembling. Not because they're weak, but because they can feel your energy. You're not who you were before. You've become magnetic. Majestic. Sacred. You've become the very miracle they were afraid they'd never find again. So now what? Now you decide, not with fear, but with knowing. Knowing that you are protected. Knowing that Archangel Michael is surrounding this moment with light. knowing that whatever happens next, it will be blessed. Because this isn't just the ending of an old story. This is the birth of a new one. And when they finally speak, when the words fall from their lips, shaking and unsure, just smile. Because you'll already know what they're about to say. They don't have to beg. They don't have to perform. They just have to be real. And real is what you've been waiting for all along. So let it happen. Let the miracle in. Let the love return. Let the truth rise. And when it's all over, when the moment has passed, when the door is closed behind them and you're holding what they gave you, sit in silence. Not the silence of loneliness, but the silence of something holy. Because you will know, without a doubt, that God didn't forget you. He just waited for the perfect moment. And that moment was today. He watches your soul gently unravel as if it's been holding its breath for years. And then, he says something quietly, something almost too sacred to repeat. Beloved, your soul already knows this name. Because it was carved beside yours in the book of divine unions. But even now, heaven is waiting for your full attention. Because once the name is whispered into your spirit, your energy will shift. The angels will begin aligning everything. Conversations will be stirred. Random meetings will occur. Signs will intensify. Dreams will become louder. But here's the divine condition: you must listen till the end. Because the name is just the beginning. The real miracle comes in what happens after. Michael continues, the person who wants to marry you has been shown your face in dreams at least 3 times. And the last time, they saw you in white. Radiating. Smiling. But alone. They cried when they woke up. Not out of fear, but out of knowing. That no matter how much time passes, their heart refuses to call anyone else home. This person may have dated others. They may have gone silent. They may have even tried to move on. But nothing, and no one, could replace the spiritual imprint you left on their life. Because their soul remembers how you made them feel. And the truth is, they've never felt that safe again. Heaven knows you've suffered in silence. That you've prayed for a love that doesn't destroy you. That you've waited for a connection that doesn't make you beg. Michael says, you're not crazy for hoping. You're not naive for believing. You are the proof that unconditional love still exists. And this person has finally seen it. They've matured. Life has broken them in just the right ways. And now, they are ready. Not perfect. But ready. They want to marry you. But their fear is this: what if they've waited too long? And so, here it is. Michael leans forward. The air goes still. Even the angels pause. And the name, beloved, is this. You already whispered it when you read that last line. That name in your mind? That name that popped into your chest before you could stop it? Yes. That's the one. You didn't imagine it. Michael didn't need to say it out loud. Because heaven wanted you to remember it on your own. Because if it's truly your divine partner, your soul would call out to them before your mouth ever could. And now that the name has echoed through your spirit, here's what's coming next. They will show up. In a dream. In a message. In a song. In a sudden urge to call you. Or even at your door. They may not have the words yet, but they will feel pulled to you. Don't resist it. Michael says, the love you've been praying for is now praying for you too. But here's what they don't know. Heaven has placed a test in front of them. One final test before your destinies can fully merge. They must choose truth over fear. They must be brave enough to speak. And if they do, the floodgates will open. This marriage is more than vows. More than a wedding. More than photos or parties. This union will break generational pain. This marriage will build a legacy. And if you stay, if you keep listening, Michael will show you what this love will look like in the days to come. He will whisper what is being planned behind the veil. Because even now, a meeting is being arranged in the divine realm, a meeting where your name and their name are being spoken side by side again. And heaven is asking one last question before unlocking the miracle. Will you let yourself believe? Because belief is the key. And your faith, right now, is opening a portal that no darkness can shut. So breathe. Close your eyes if you need to. And say yes, not just with your mouth, but with your soul. Say yes to what God has planned for your love story. Say yes to the person who can't forget you. Say yes to the miracle that's already on its way. Would you like me to continue with the next section? The miracle is about to get even deeper. Beloved, he says, heaven didn't bring you this far to leave you confused. There is no such thing as a coincidence here. This message found you because the truth could no longer stay hidden. Because even now, this person, the one who saw you in their dreams, the one who whispered your name during sleepless nights, is feeling an unusual urgency in their heart. Their soul is restless. Their spirit is tugging at them like never before. They're remembering you. Not just the smile you wore, not just the way your laugh made the world seem brighter, but the way your energy made their entire life feel lighter. They're haunted by your absence. And Michael says they're standing at the edge of a decision that will define their entire future. They're ready to choose you. But here's what you need to know, this is not a simple love. It's not just a relationship. This is a divine covenant. This union was blessed by angels before either of you were even born. Michael reveals, God hid you both from each other's worst seasons, only so you could find each other in your healing. And that healing is now. This person is slowly becoming the version of themselves that you always believed they could be. And they know it's time. They feel it in their bones. But they are afraid. Because they don't know if you'll receive them. And yet, despite their fear, they're coming anyway. Because heaven is pushing them toward you. Again and again. Michael says, do not doubt what you've seen in the signs. The numbers. The dreams. The songs. The synchronicities. The name you keep hearing. That's not madness. That's divine messaging. That's confirmation. God has whispered your name into their heart so many times that it's now the only truth they know. And now, beloved, something sacred is happening. Your name has been taken up to the high council. Angels have begun weaving the energy of alignment between you and your person. And even if it seems impossible, even if they are far or silent, even if everything looks lost, heaven says otherwise. In fact, as you read this right now, there is an angel standing behind them, speaking to their mind, reminding them of the promises made between your souls. You asked God, when will I be loved the way I love? The answer is now. You asked, why did everyone walk away? Why did they choose someone else? Because none of them were your covenant. But this one is. Michael smiles and says, your person is waking up. Slowly. But powerfully. Their illusions are shattering. They're starting to see that the path to peace has always had your footsteps at the end of it. And this is where it gets deeper. Your union doesn't just bring love, it brings purpose. Together, you'll break curses, heal bloodlines, raise energies, create light where there has only been pain. And this is why dark forces tried so hard to separate you. Because they knew what would happen once you aligned. But they can't stop what heaven has approved. Now, Michael says, you must prepare. Because this person may arrive in a way that doesn't look perfect. Their words may be awkward. They may not have the right lines or perfect timing. But listen for the truth in their energy. Their soul will be screaming your name even if their mouth hesitates. Michael urges, do not reject them out of past fear. Listen deeper. See them with your divine eyes. Because this time, it's not a test. This is the beginning. And as you receive this truth, as your heart opens wider, something begins moving in the spiritual realm. The clock starts ticking. The portal starts activating. And a whisper is released across the skies. Reunite them. This is the call of the angels now. Michael says, in the next 7 days, something will happen that confirms everything you've read here. A message. A meeting. A face in a dream. A voice that feels like home. And when it does, you will know. So don't second guess it. Don't overthink. Say yes. Because heaven didn't bring you here for entertainment. This is a message meant to unlock your destiny. And the one who wants to marry you? They've already chosen you in their heart. All they're waiting for is the right moment to show you. Michael says. That moment is almost here. Then listen closely, beloved. Because what comes next will not just touch your soul, it will alter your reality. Archangel Michael says, your name is written into this person's future. But even more powerful, their name has now been etched into your now. This means the shift has begun. This means your angels are no longer just preparing you, they are moving in real time to bring your destinies together. Conversations are being stirred behind closed doors. Dreams are being ignited again. Their heart is beating differently today, and they don't even know why. But you do. Because you've just been handed a secret that heaven waited lifetimes to reveal. This is not fantasy. This is not drama. This is prophecy. Michael says, you will see this person's name, or initials, or face in a strange place very soon. It will be unexpected. But that is how you will know the angels are near. You may open your phone and see a message that stuns you. You may walk into a room and feel a shift in the air. You may hear a song you both once loved play from nowhere. You may even feel your hand go cold for no reason. That's the angel touching you. But what matters most is this. Do not doubt what you know anymore. This person, the one who wants to marry you, is terrified that you've moved on. They don't know what you've been praying for. They don't know that your heart still holds space for them. But heaven does. And that's why this message was sent. Because God says, if you accept this truth today, I will bring the miracle closer. Michael's eyes glow with a sacred fire, and he says, this miracle has already been approved. This love has already been written. But your belief will decide how fast it arrives. So right now, yes, this very moment, you are standing at the edge of something divine. One decision, to believe, to stay open, to trust, can cause the gates of heaven to burst open in your favor. And what happens next will not feel normal. It will feel magical, cosmic, divine. You may cry without reason. You may feel the urge to write them. You may dream of the moment they hold your hand again and call you home. These are not symptoms of delusion. These are echoes of what's coming. Michael says, when their message reaches you, don't hesitate. Their words may be fragile, but their spirit will be sure. They will not come to hurt you. They will come to choose you. And the moment you say yes, the shift will complete. Because this marriage is not just about you. It's about what God is about to birth through you both. This union will create protection. This union will restore broken parts of your family. This union will bless others just by existing. And you will both look at each other one day and say, only God could have written this. Michael says with a smile, beloved, they are already on their way. And when they hold your hand, don't ask why. Just whisper, I remember. Because your souls do. They always have. And now, so will your life. Let us go even deeper now, into the part where time folds, where the moment finally arrives. Because Archangel Michael has not finished yet. He stands beside you now with eyes of sacred fire, and he says, beloved, your destiny is already walking toward you. But the moment of union requires one final miracle, your full surrender. Not to pain. Not to confusion. Not to waiting. But to faith. Because what happens in the next 24 to 72 hours will shake your heart in the most beautiful way. Michael says, the message is coming. It will arrive when you least expect it. But it will carry everything you've been waiting for. This person is being spiritually pushed to speak. To show up. To make the move. And though fear may shake them, love is greater than fear. Because this isn't just their decision, it's heaven's design. And here's the moment that will change everything. You'll be doing something ordinary, maybe working, scrolling, resting, and suddenly, you'll feel it. That deep pull. That thump in your chest. That invisible tap on your shoulder. And in that very moment, they will send it. Maybe a message. A voice note. Hey. I was just thinking about you. But the words won't matter as much as the energy behind them. Because their soul will be pouring out of that message. Michael whispers, when it comes, don't overthink. Just receive it. Respond with your heart, not your wounds. Because what you say next will determine how fast this miracle unfolds. Do not let ego speak. Let your spirit respond. Because in that moment, when they reach out, they are offering their heart, naked and unsure, hoping that you won't shatter it. And here's what you must understand. They were shown something. Maybe in a dream. Maybe in a moment of deep silence. But they saw the two of you together. Older. Wiser. Peaceful. Hand in hand. And in that vision, they remembered. You are their home. Not just their love. Not just their passion. But their souls returned to safety. And they've been praying quietly that you feel the same. Michael says, the angels have walked them through every regret, every mischance, every betrayal they caused, and they are ready to restore. This isn't someone coming back just to confuse you. This is someone being called back by God to complete what was left undone. Because your love story never ended. It was simply paused by heaven until both of you were strong enough to walk in truth. And now? That time has come. You're about to be asked a sacred question. Maybe not in words, maybe not directly. But in spirit. The question is, will you still have me? Your answer will unlock 1,000 blessings. Because once you say yes, truly, deeply, without fear, heaven will open the path. You will begin to see signs daily. You will feel them more in your dreams. And within days, you will begin to see your worlds merge. Michael says, do not be afraid if it happens fast. It is not rushing, it is restoration. God is not making you wait any longer. Because this love, this union, has work to do in the world. And you are the chosen ones to carry it. Your union will awaken others. Your story will inspire healing. Your joy will silence every past lie that said you were too broken to be loved. Michael's final words for now are these. Prepare your heart. Open your arms. Because by the time this week ends, their energy will be near you again. And when it comes, don't look back. The past is closed. The pain is gone. The silence has served its purpose. Now comes the part where God restores everything you lost, through the love you never expected to return. And when they look into your eyes again, they won't say, I'm sorry. They'll say, it's always been you. And now, beloved, Archangel Michael gently steps back, watching in silence, his wings spread wide across your space, shielding you still. You might not see him, but his energy is everywhere, in the air, in the stillness, in the way your heartbeat has suddenly softened, like it finally feels safe again. He is proud of you. Truly, deeply proud. Because you said yes to the moment most people spend their entire lives avoiding, the raw, vulnerable, unfiltered truth of love returned. This isn't fantasy. This isn't a dream. What just happened, or is about to happen, is a divine recording written long before you were even born. You lived through all the waiting, all the wondering, all the aching nights, and now the story has opened its next page. Not as punishment, but as promise. You're allowed to still feel nervous. You're allowed to still have questions. But please, don't doubt the miracle. Don't minimize the magic that just arrived at your doorstep. You were called. You were chosen. And more importantly, you answered. Do you know how rare that is? Do you know how many souls hear the call but silence it with fear? But you didn't. You kept reading. You stayed open. You allowed this sacred moment to reach you. And now, everything in your energy field has changed. Whether you felt it or not, your soul felt it. The old cords, cut. The old wounds, touched by light. The old beliefs, reshaped. You are no longer the person you were before this message. That version of you dissolved the moment you allowed this love to be received. And they, the one who returned, they know it too. They might not be able to explain it in spiritual words. They might not even understand what's happening. But they feel it. Just as you do. Because two souls that were split, and now returned, create a sacred vibration that even heaven watches in awe. The kind of connection that softens the sky. That stills time. That reminds the world that miracles still walk the earth, not just in stories, but in ordinary rooms, in ordinary hearts, in moments like this. Archangel Michael speaks again, softly now, don't rush the afterglow. Let this miracle soak into your body. Let your heart stay open a little longer. Don't analyze. Don't plan. Just feel. What they brought in their hands may be placed on a table now. A note, a token, a photo, an object, but it's more than what it seems. It's a spiritual key. And even if you don't understand what to do with it yet, your soul already knows. Let that be enough. Some part of you might ask, is this forever? And Michael smiles gently, because that's not the right question. The right question is, was I fully present when the divine showed up? And you were. That is what matters. That is what unlocks the next miracle. More is coming. More truth. More love. More alignment. This reunion, whether it becomes a lifetime or just a sacred night, has already shifted your timeline. You're no longer on the same path. You've entered a higher one. One where your worth is no longer questioned. One where your softness is protected, not punished. One where your soul is finally honored, not ignored. You may feel tired soon. Not because anything went wrong, but because your energy body just underwent a spiritual earthquake. A recalibration. A divine activation. Rest. Drink water. Sit under the sky if you can. Let the stars remind you of how watched over you truly are. Michael says this is just the beginning. Now that you've said yes to the return of love, new things will start unfolding. Opportunities. Unexpected messages. New dreams. New courage. You've proven yourself ready to receive, and heaven is taking note. So when you feel the aftershock, the emotion, the awe, the tears that come out of nowhere, welcome them. You're not falling apart. You're expanding. Your heart is stretching wide enough to hold something it thought it had lost forever, faith. They came. They really came. And you were brave enough to open the door. Even if you're not sure what comes next, even if you're still processing, you should know this. You passed the test. Not the kind given by the world. The kind given by heaven. You showed grace when you could have shown pride. You chose truth over ego. You chose love over fear. You chose presence over protection. And Archangel Michael, fierce, mighty, patient Michael, bows to you in reverence. He watched you wait. He watched you cry. He watched you stay soft in a world that tried to harden you. And today, he got to witness you being seen. Truly, deeply seen. By someone who once left, yes, but who returned, not to take, but to give. And now, beloved, you are complete. Not because of what they gave you, but because of what you allowed yourself to receive. So let tonight be sacred. Let tomorrow be soft. And let every breath you take moving forward carry the quiet knowing. You are loved. You are chosen. You are the miracle they came back for. And heaven will never let you forget that again. Then close your eyes now, beloved. Archangel Michael stands before you, his wings wrapped in golden flame, his sword lowered, his voice soft but strong. And what he says next is not just a message. It is a spiritual seal. A moment where heaven touches earth. He says, repeat these words, not just with your mouth, but with your spirit. This is your affirmation. This is your invitation. This is your command to the universe. Say this slowly. Let it soak into your soul. I receive this divine love. I welcome the soul that was always meant for mine. I allow the doors of heaven to open over my life. I release every fear that kept us apart. I surrender every delay, every doubt, every distraction. The person who carries my name in their prayers, let them come. The one who dreams of marrying me, let them be revealed. The miracle that has my name written on it, I claim it. Not in my timing, but in God's perfect hour. I am ready. I am worthy. I am chosen. And I am loved, fully, truly, forever. So it is written. So it is blessed. So it is done. A stillness falls over the realm as you speak those words. Something ancient and eternal responds to the vibration of your belief. And now, something beautiful begins to bloom. You may feel warmth in your chest. That is your heart remembering what it feels like to be safe. You may feel your fingers tingle. That is your body aligning with the soul that is calling out for you. You may feel a strange peace come over you. That is the angels surrounding your future. Because this was never just about finding love. It was about finding home. Michael says, from this moment forward, watch what changes. Watch what messages arrive. Watch who suddenly reaches for you. Because what once seemed distant, will begin to come closer. The love that once felt impossible, will begin to soften into reality. You will receive glimpses, visions, flashes, memories from a future that is now preparing to be born. And when they come, don't hesitate. Don't hide. Don't run from what you prayed for. Because this time, it's real. This time, God is leading it. This time, the one who wants to marry you will not let you go. Michael smiles, lifts his hand, and speaks the final words of this sacred moment. And now, go live the miracle. It has already begun. So here we are, beloved. You've stayed. You've listened. You've remembered. And now, you are ready. Michael turns to leave, but before he does, he pauses. He looks at you with eyes that have seen lifetimes, battles, promises, and prayers. And he says softly, this message was not just sent to tell you someone wants to marry you. It was sent to remind you who you are. You are not a mistake. You are not too late. You are not unlovable. You are the one. The one they pray for. The one they can't forget. The one heaven whispers about. The one God chose to hold this kind of love. And as your soul rises to receive it, Michael gives you one final promise. Within days, you will receive the sign. A message. A visit. A confirmation. And when it comes, know that your destiny is no longer a dream. It is happening now. But beloved, if you skip this message or leave before you're ready to accept what God is giving, the energy begins to fade. So stay in this vibration. Stay open. Stay aligned. And before you go, if this message reached the deepest part of your heart, then it was meant only for you. Now take a moment. Because what you're about to do next might determine how soon your miracle arrives. If this message made you cry, breathe deeper, or feel your person's name in your soul, don't let it disappear. Subscribe now, not just to stay connected. Subscribe because you were meant to receive every message heaven has been saving for you. Subscribe because there are more divine secrets, more angel whispers, and more sacred confirmations coming for you daily. Don't miss what heaven is preparing next. You've already missed too much. Archangel Michael is watching who opens this and who walks away. You stayed. You listened. You believed. Now claim it fully. Subscribe, and let the angels bring you the rest of the story. Because next time, it won't just be a message. It will be your miracle, finally knocking at your door.